The post office, the DMV, and Toronto, Ontario, Canada. What do those three places have in common? They're all depressing as hell. I went to the post office this morning, so I can totally attest to that first one. I thank our great Lord and Savior every day I don't have to go to the DMV. And even though I haven't been to Toronto, just judging by the way the Blue Jays have been going lately, I definitely don't feel like that's the happiest place on earth right now. For a while now, the Blue Jays have been simply on their hands and knees begging for baseball players to take their money. Usually when a team doesn't sign players like, I don't know, the Pirates, it's because they simply don't want to spend money. But the Blue Jays, oh no, they have all the money in the world. Just nobody wants to go to Toronto. This has basically been their offseason in a nutshell when it comes to them trying to sign players.
Oh boy. Oh, this is sad. Oh, this is just. Oh, why don't I just take this deal?
And I would argue with the state this franchise is currently in, they shouldn't sign really any big free agents. I guess if you could go for Ohtani or Soto, yeah, sure. But both those guys said no, despite getting as good an offer as they did from the Dodgers and Mets, respectively, at least for the most part. But other than abnormally good star players like that, the Blue Jays need to rebuild, if not at least retool. They don't have a great farm system. Their best player is a year away from free agency himself. So the fact that this team is in on all these free agents just reeks of desperation without any actual plan to win. Like, they just want to sign a player for the sake of signing a player, although it's getting to a point where the only option they might have left to buy is the new AI robot girlfriend for $175,000. Well, things just got a whole lot sadder for the franchise, and also, just like any man who buys an AI girlfriend robot, pathetic. Really quick, as always, if you're part of the 56% of viewers not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that button if you enjoy the videos, as they offered Juan Soto $760 million. He said no. They offered Corbin Burns $250 million. He said no. They offered Vladimir Guerrero Jr. $340 million to stay. He said no. So what the hell is gonna give? Well, good news. The Blue Jays just signed Jeff Hoffman, one of the best relievers in all of baseball last year. He struck a ton of guys out, had a low ERA. He's also looking to start some games this upcoming season, kind of like how Ronaldo Lopez did for the Braves after being a reliever most of his career. But overall, solid signing. Okay, great. Look at that. The Jays finally got their guy. Until you realize even when the Blue Jays sign someone, they still lose. Immediately, it came out that Hoffman actually originally had an agreement with the Orioles for 3 years, $40 million, but the team backed out after Hoffman's physical revealed damage in his throwing shoulder. So he had to settle with Toronto instead for the same amount of years, but $33 million. So even when the Blue Jays signed someone, they weren't even that player's first choice in their own division. Hell, they couldn't even be the preferred bird team. There are only 3 freaking teams with bird names in baseball, and the Jays couldn't even at least be number 1 there. Sad. But then it gets even worse. Imagine you find out your friend's girlfriend originally chose another guy, but settled for your friend because the other guy's legs stopped working and he had to live in a wheelchair now. Well, then imagine finding out soon after that your friend's girlfriend also had another preferred choice for her boyfriend, but settled with your friend because the other guy's dick got bit off by a shark. No offense to Joe and Quagmire, I love those guys, but this is exactly what the Blue Jays situation is. Turns out another team along with the Orioles, the Atlanta Braves, had an agreement with Jeff Hoffman before having an issue with his physical and moving on. The original joke was that even when the Blue Jays sign a player, they come in second place. Now we have to change the joke to even when the Blue Jays sign a player, they come in third place. When you have to edit jokes, you know it's bad. This cannot get more pathetic.
Oh boy. Oh, this is sad.
The Blue Jays are so beyond desperate to sign anyone who plays Major League Baseball. They'll take a guy who 2 other teams passed up on because of what they saw as a concerning shoulder issue. 2 teams. Now, who knows, maybe Hoffman goes out as perfectly healthy, or at least as close as healthy as a pitcher can get and dominates. But when not one but multiple organizations move on because of a physical, something's clearly there. And the Blue Jays are so friggin' desperate, they're sitting there like, we'll take you, we'll fix you, please come here. Sad. Let me know your thoughts and thank you for watching.